morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Glad to be with you guys again. I hope everyone's had a good week and a good start to this week and is settled and ready to learn something this morning. So today I wanted to talk to you about meal replacements. Meal replacements is a little bit of a bucket term that means various things. My first experience with meal replacements was when I was 14 or 15 years old. I remember those little, actually they weren't even cans back then, but the powder of Slim Fast, strawberry Slim Fast is something I used to drink on my way to uni high when I was 14, 15 years old. Still makes me laugh when I smell that strawberry smell. But who would have known back then that I would have had such an intimate relationship with meal replacements? And there's a lot of benefits. So I want to talk about the benefits, and there are also a lot of pitfalls. So let's talk today about meal replacements. First of all, what is a meal replacement? So I like to use meal replacement kind of interchangeably with snack replacement, and that can be problematic. So I'll tell you why. But essentially, a meal or a snack replacement is a pre-packaged either drink or bar that serves to replace or take the place of a meal or a snack. Typically, meal replacements should be low in calorie because they're not intended to bulk people up. They also should be high in protein in order to achieve their goals. So what are the goals of meal replacements? Well, typically, I want to start with talking about meal replacements in the sense of a protein bar or a nutrition bar. What are the reasons why people eat these bars or consume bars instead of having real food? Well, number one, we're busy. And so bars are used quite frequently for quick nutrition on the go. Another reason that people use meal replacements is in order to boost energy. People will rightfully use meal replacements in order to get extra protein in their diet. So we are all seeking and searching for protein, not only people who are trying to build muscle, but actually as we age, as we get older, our protein requirements increase, even though our protein intake tends to decrease. So in order to kind of fill that gap of our greater needs with our reduced intake, protein or high protein meal replacement kind of fits the bill. It's also used for a boost in energy. It's used for a quick pre or post-workout snack. We know that when you consume more protein or a high protein snack, either 30 minutes to 60 minutes before or after a workout, you're more likely to use those amino acids to rebuild some of the broken down muscle tissue. And finally, and most notably, people are using meal replacements for weight management, and which includes weight loss and weight maintenance. So these are the ways in which we use meal replacements. But there are some pitfalls. So I, aside from my high school Slim Fast days, I've had extensive experience with the use of meal replacements. First, in my role as medical director at Cedars-Sinai, where I was treating patients for medical weight loss, I was using meal replacements as a way to help people restrict their calories while getting adequate protein during weight loss. One, again, the benefit is an easy way to reduce your calories. So when you have a meal replacement, it's a pre-specified amount of calories, a pre-specified amount of protein. So you know without the guesswork how much or how many calories you're consuming. And then you also get a boost of protein because, as I've talked about in the past, our needs for protein increase as we lose weight. When people lose weight, they will lose preferably and hopefully fat mass, so fatty tissue, but people can also lose muscle mass. And this was most famously reported in the contestants of The Biggest Loser, who lost significant amounts of weight And when they later went back and did body composition testing on these people, they realized that not only did they lose fat mass, but they also lose muscle. Some of that may be physiologic. It may be that when people lose large amounts of weight, that they don't need as much muscle to support them. But we don't want to lose too much muscle. We want to mitigate that loss, because what can happen is if you lose relatively more muscle than you do fat, then actually your percent body fat goes up, which is harmful for our body composition and obviously not something that we want to do. So back to the use of them, I used to use meal replacements widely, not only for my medical weight loss patients, but also for surgical weight loss. So when people were going or undergoing weight loss surgery, bariatric surgery, where they were losing really large sums of weight, like 100 plus pounds, we call it a successful weight loss, an individual who's lost at least 50% of their excess body weight, which can be a lot of weight. And we want to mitigate that loss of muscle. We would give them high protein shakes in order to make sure they get adequate protein. So weight management is actually an important reason in order to use meal replacement or meal replacements. But again, here are the pitfalls. So when my patients would ask me, what are some meal replacements we can use over the counter, I really was hard pressed to find the right meal replacement. Why? Because number one, some of the protein bars or nutrition bars out there that were really high in protein were also really high in calories. So some commercial brands, and I don't want to name names, will give you maybe 20 to 30 grams of protein, but they come at a cost of 350, 400 calories. And when you're using this as a quote snack replacement, which is really what people are using these bars for, like mid-afternoon snack, then the calorie load is going to actually make people gain weight instead of lose weight. Even if you're not trying to lose weight, most likely you're not trying to use these bars to gain weight. You're trying to use it for quick nutrition on the go in order to budget your calorie intake and stay stable. Another pitfall is that if they have low calories, then they don't necessarily have all of the protein that they need. There's a big push or has been a big push towards good fats, and a lot of our protein bars out there have a high amount of good fats like nuts and seeds and butters. And good fats are good, but again, it needs to be in moderation because it can result in high calories, and it can't be at the expense of the protein, because the protein is really what is satiating. It is the macronutrient that helps people feel full. And so if you're getting a protein bar that is 250 calories and yet has 7-8 grams of protein, you're not getting the adequate protein that you need in order to feel satisfied or satiated. And the studies show you need at least 15 grams of protein in order to do that. Other pitfalls. So there are some commercial brands out there. They're kind of yummy. They taste like Snickers bars. They are lower in calorie, so they're 200 calories or less, which is what I shoot for. They're high in protein, but then if you look at the label, the ingredients list is like 100 ingredients long. They have a lot of artificial additives, artificial sweeteners, and ingredients in order to preserve their shelf life and also in order to make them yummy without a lot of calories. And so again, when we're looking for nutrition or clean nutrition on the go, a bar that has 1 million chemicals in it is really not clean nutrition on the go. So that's another pitfall. And then finally, when it comes to protein shakes, and a lot of my patients will use a high quality protein shake in the morning as a breakfast. I love that idea. I think it's a great way to start the day, to get fruits and veggies in, and also to get the protein that you need that'll help suppress your hunger hormones all day long. But one of the pitfalls is when I ask people what they're putting into their protein shake, they'll tell me, oh, I'll add a tablespoon of chia seeds. Maybe that's 60 calories. I'll add a tablespoon of peanut butter. That's about 110 calories. Maybe I'll add some oat milk. That's 130 calories. And then the protein powder itself, which can be anywhere from 90 to 100 calories, which is on the lean side. That's how many calories our Del protein powder is. But some of them can be 130 calories or more in and of itself. So you can see how this snack or meal replacement can rapidly add up to a 500-600 calorie meal. And again, if you're a bodybuilder and you need those excess calories, then that may be okay. It might be a right fit for you. But most of us are not bodybuilders. Most of us are using these protein shakes or protein bars in order to, again, to give us quick nutrition on the go, to not break the bank by being too excessive in calories, and also giving us that macronutrient or that protein that we need. So what should you look for in a meal replacement? And I have kind of studied this hard and long, or long and hard, because it is something that is so near and dear to my heart, something that not only I have experience with since my teenagehood, but also I use meal replacements extensively right now when I'm running between patients in the office. I have used it after a big vacation or weekend when I'm trying to get my weight back into that 5 pound, range that we always kind of vacillate. I've used meal replacements each and every time I got pregnant, which was only 3 times, but in order to lose weight after pregnancy. And I successfully was able to lose the 25 to 30 pounds that I gained with each child, incorporating meal replacements as a part of a healthy whole food diet. So if you're looking for a meal replacement in the case of a bar, what is it that you're trying to achieve, and what is it that you're trying to look for? So I typically recommend that you look for a protein bar that is under 200 calories, because again, we're often using this as a snack replacement. If you use this as a meal, like a breakfast, that's okay. And if you use it as a lunch, you can use it to augment something else. So get the protein with a low calorie package in conjunction with something else. So something that's under 200 calories, and then also to have adequate protein. And in my book, that's 15 grams of protein or more, in case you really are using this as a meal replacement, so that you get the protein that you need in every meal. I really haven't found anything over the counter that exists to fit that bill, which is why I created Del Bar, which is my personally curated line of protein bars. I'm having one for breakfast right now. And they are all 200 calories and have 15 to 16 grams of protein each. The third thing, though, I would look at when you're looking at purchasing a protein bar is looking at the label. So making sure that it has a really clean label. And what I have found over the counter is that either they're low calorie, high protein, and have a lot of stuff, artificial ingredients on the label, or they're clean, like some of those bars out there that only have 5 ingredients, but they're really high calorie, or they're really low in protein. And then the last requirement for me is adding to your nutrition. So not only replacing your nutrition, but actually adding to your nutrition. And the best way that I can think of adding to your nutrition, aside from the protein that we've already talked about, is adding to your nutrition with ingredients that actually do something for you, ingredients that actually nourish you. And the class of ingredients that I absolutely love right now are functional ingredients, or adaptogens. So functional ingredients are ingredients that are typically naturally occurring or plant-based, and they have some function for your body. So last week we talked about adaptogens, which are those plant-based compounds that help your body adapt to stress. Adaptogens like ashwagandha, or functional ingredients like ashwagandha, is something that I discussed in the last live. And this is a great ingredient. It is plant-based, it is naturally occurring, and it has been shown to function as a support to our cognitive function or our thinking, clear thinking, focused thinking, as well as to our mood. So this is a added ingredient that does something to support one of your body systems. Another functional ingredient is turmeric. So turmeric, widely used in cuisine in the Middle East, in Africa, in Mediterranean countries, in India. So this is a spice. Again, it's plant-based. It comes from a root that has been shown in many studies to help reduce inflammation as well as to support cardiometabolic systems in the body. So this is another example of a functional ingredient. Prebiotics, which are plant-based, they're like your run-of-the-mill fibers that we consume in our regular whole food diet. But prebiotic is something that the normal bacteria in our gut feeds off of in order to release important nutrients that help our bodies function. So we have millions of bacteria in our gut, and we live with how we call symbiotically. So we live kind of in harmony with these bacteria because they need a host to live. They can't just live out there in the world. So they use our bodies in order to survive, but they also help us digest nutrients and give back to our body by providing these nutrients. So there's prebiotics. And then finally, coffee, which is plant-based. There's a lot of misconceptions about coffee, and maybe we can do another live at some point if you guys are interested, talking about coffee and the benefits of coffee. But actually, coffee bean is the number one antioxidant in the American diet. Coffee bean has over 1,000 antioxidants, believe it or not. And so coffee has been shown not only to be a source of antioxidant, but also has been shown to support metabolic health. There are studies that show that people who are regular coffee drinkers, and I'm not talking about those people who are chugging coffee cup after cup all day long, but two cups, which provides about 300 milligrams of caffeine, can give you support for cardiovascular health, has been shown to reduce the risk of heart disease, numerous cancers, as well as to increase longevity or reduce mortality, as well as to sharpen our focus. We all know that a cup of coffee helps sharpen our mind, but it's been associated with reduced cognitive decline. So to that end, Del Bar, which I would love for you guys to check out if you haven't found your own personal meal replacement or snack replacement, is a protein bar that is under 200 calories, over 15 grams of protein, and has the functional ingredients that I've discussed. I love talking about this topic because, and also recommending this topic or this class of foods, of meal replacements, because I've found in my work with people over the last 10 years that we all really want to do good for ourselves, but time is always an issue. And while I don't take that excuse always, I do think that part of this process of health and well-being is making yourself a priority, is making time, because we all have the time. It's just how we choose to allocate that time. But I also know that convenience is important and that tools are helpful. So if you have questions about your favorite meal replacement, you can put it in the chat after this video and I will get back to you. And thanks for listening. I'm glad to have been with you guys today, this Tuesday morning. Have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you again next week. By the way, if you guys are interested in more content, feel free to go to our website, delnutrition.com. You can log on, sign up for our newsletter, and get weekly newsletters on various topics of health and well-being. If you're not interested in getting newsletters, which are only weekly, you can also just check out our blog and see if there's anything there, any information that serves you. Okay, to a happy and healthy week, and talk to you next week. Bye-bye.